yes, that was a great song from Isenziwe, the guys from eThekwini, eGagasini. I want us on our bite to deal with the issue of the Ministry of Social Justice. We are so much used to social injustices out there, be it in our communities, be it at workplace, be it even in our families, especially we talk because we belong to a church which is drawn from a fundamental element which is biblical, which says every nation, every tribe. Many people, especially in Johannesburg or in city centers, they find themselves being part of a multicultural church. And a multicultural church is set up with people who are coming from different walks of life. Especially in Johannesburg, people have migrated to these big cities. They are coming from Ghana, from Zambia, from Zimbabwe, from Europe, from all over, because Johannesburg is a serious economic hub, and so people who are seeking solace from Johannesburg, they will also look for a church to worship. And they find that maybe they are not welcome. But the main part is that there is a conflict between the local members and the new people who are coming to worship. It could be the fact that the local members are comfortable and they are not even attending to the visitors. And at the same time, it could be that the visitors are coming in with new ideas. They do not subscribe to the way and the kind of worship which is happening in this particular setup. I want to ask you a few questions, which I want you to think thoroughly on these questions. Do you see yourself superior to other ethnic groups? Do you see individuals with little education as less valuable than others? Is tribe, race an issue when it comes to your personal worship? Is tribe, race an issue when it comes to even simple issues like dating or marriage preferences? How do you feel about cultural diversity within your own church? Have you been intentionally, by having the concern for diversity issues always on your agenda? I want you to understand that the danger we have is that we assume similarity just purely because we all come from the tree of Adam and Eve. We think that we are so similar. Assuming similarity between cultures leads to lack of awareness of important differences, which could be more important in that particular culture. So I want us these coming 2 weeks to discuss 4 keywords which define this subject or which leads to social injustices. The first one will be the ethnocentrism, which is defined as when one judges aspects of another culture negatively by the standards of one's own culture and see one's own culture as superior to the other culture. We are so much used to feeling like, me as an Ndebele, I feel like I'm better than a Shona. When I look at the way how they do things, I do not subscribe to it. When I look at the way how the Xhosas do their things, I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. And when you look at a white brother or an African brother, you're thinking that, no, man, the way how they do things, the way how they sing, the way how they preach, I do not like it. Then let's look at the definition of stereotypes. Stereotypes are negative or positive judgments made about individuals based on any observable or believable group membership. This leads to generalization about people. It's so common to say, the Nigerians, all of them, they deal with drugs. It is very easy to say these people, the way how they are untidy, just because you have met a person who is petty, he was untidy, and you think that all the petties are just like that. And then now we create in our churches the small groups of different cultures, because I cannot associate myself with this particular culture. We have a problem as a church that we have to have the doors opened for all tribes and all cultures. How are you going to do it? What will be the solution you are going to have as a church? Hence, I'm urging all the churches to deal with the issues of this ministry of social justice. We all know social injustices, but I will scare you if I realize, in fact, if I share with you that almost all of us are participants of social injustices. Can I ask you a question? Does your church have a place for wheelchairs? Does your church do those places, in fact, those elements which help to interpret for people who cannot hear like you? Does your church look and ask, are there any visitors? How can we accommodate you? For on our next session, we are going to discuss prejudice and racism. But for now, I want you to have those questions which makes you look at a neighbor, a person seated next to you. How can you make them feel at home? How can you accommodate them? May the Lord keep blessing you. Thank you.